Hey everybody, Grant Miller here, Miami Community Newspapers. But today, this is South Dade Shoutout. Dr. Les Burke is on the road, improving South Dade Chamber of Commerce day by day. We have Suzanne Wilson-Wong of what's company? Real Estate Property Management, correct? You
Real
want to push?
property, real property management.
Well, let's get your phone. You going to fix your phone now? I'll do it right now. I'll do it for you. So, Tommy, I mean, I'll fix your phone while we're doing this. Let's talk a little bit about you. You're born in Jamaica.
hmm
You and your husband moved here when you were how old?
Well, we're not going to talk about how old I was,
No.
but we're going to say that yeah, he and I have been resident here, raising our family for about 15 years. We've been a part of the Homestead community.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Now you moved to Homestead. You joined the South Dade Chamber when?
I joined the South State Chamber this year, 2021. And what a great community of business people the members are. Like, I really enjoy my time with the South State Chamber.
Regarding South Dade Chamber, um, you just joined in the middle of the little virus action,
Yeah,
but you're involved. Let's talk about you first of all. How many kids you have?
I have three amazing, adorable, smart kids. Shout out to Gia, who's 15, Elijah, who's 12, and Zara, who's 7.
Okay, the oldest one goes to Coral Reef High School.
That's right. And the other two go to Airbase K through 8.
That's exciting because when they're in school, it's done for 8 years.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Like, for Airbase K through 8, we cannot say too many good things about that school and that community, and it's great. I feel like my kids are in a little bubble there.
There's just a great school.
Yeah, from K to 8.
Do you know who the principal is?
We got a new principal during the pandemic. His name is Mr. Pendergrass.
Pendergrass.
Mhm.
Teddy?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. Okay, so you joined the chamber with Les, and have they had any meetings, or is it just all Zoom now? What is it?
It's mostly Zoom. There was one mixer a couple of months ago, but it's
Where the mixer
mostly
at the restaurant Capri?
before Capri, at the Mercedes Benz
I
outlet.
was there.
I know.
I was there.
I
That's right. I
saw
saw
you.
you. Yeah, I saw you. That was pretty impressive.
It was nice.
It was very nice. Okay, so real estate management. What does your team do?
Right. So at Real Property Management Genesis, we are property managers.
Commercial, residential.
Primarily, excuse me, primarily
Don't get all choked up with us.
You're bringing that out in me, Grant.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's primarily residential property management that we focus on, and we stick close to our territories. So we're
When
in
you
Broward.
territory, you mean your circle, like in Homestead,
Exactly. So
South Dade area.
South Dade, some of Broward, but mostly Miami-Dade and Monroe counties.
You know, every time I hear about somebody buying a house to rent it to somebody, I go, "Oh my gosh, the headaches must be overwhelming." And they go, "Oh no, it's easy. It's easy." So tell us, let's say you have a house. I buy a house in Homestead. I want to rent it, and I hire your company, and the house is valued at $300,000, and my rents, I want to charge $1,000. Tell me how much you make off of it to service the account, and how do the renters pay you, the maintenance people, how do they get paid? Tell us the whole process.
Sure. So it's a bit of a loaded question, because our pricing depends on really what of our services that you'd like to take advantage of. So we can do as little as home watching. So there are people who buy an investment property for personal use. They aren't nearby and they have a concern about whether or not the property is safe when they aren't there. So that's a service that we offer. We also offer leasing. So then there are owners who buy an investment property. They just need someone to find them a good tenant and get the lease signed. And we do that only for tenants, and then they take it from there. So that's lease only.
Okay.
Then there's management, where pretty much once an owner hands their property over to us to take care of it, all they do is sit back and watch their income drop in their bank account. So no hassle, no stress. That's our primary management model, where we take over, we'll lease it, we'll advertise it, we'll do tenant screening,
And
meaning
that's the tough part.
that's the tough part. We're talking credit checks, employment verification, residential history, all of that, background checks, things which the typical homeowner doesn't have the capacity to do. And if you make a mistake at that point and you get a bad tenant in, there's loads of issues that you're about to face.
Even though
down the
you get
line.
first, last security, the security means nothing, because I understand if you get a bad tenant, it could take months. It could take a half a year. It could take a year to get them out.
Exactly. And then you have to go through the legal system and evictions and
But that doesn't happen with you guys, because you clear it all out.
exactly. So that's one of the primary benefits that a property management brings to homeowners, to make sure that we do the hard work of finding a great tenant to put to pair you with, so that you
It's
don't
a
have those
partnership.
headaches. It is a partnership. It is. And for us at Real Property Management Genesis, we like to say we
Can you
have
say that really fast?
Real Property Management Genesis. We have a head for business, but then also a heart for people. Because if you get a great tenant into your home, best believe do everything that you can to keep them there and keep them happy. And
Right.
that's the other part of what we do. We are that intermediary between your tenant and yourself. We take their calls, we see to their needs and ensure that they're happy. If they're good,
So
if they're happy, you're happy.
So if I'm renting the property, I'm the renter.
Mhm.
My check's made out to your company, and
Exactly.
then you pay the owner of the property.
Exactly. So and throughout that transaction, if there are any maintenance issues which the owner needs to take care of, we'll do that on his or her behalf, and then remit the
if
proceeds.
I'm the owner, let's say I'm the owner of the property and something needs to be fixed,
Mhm.
do you pay up front, or does the owner have to pay it?
We pay up front, meaning
Wow. So if there's a problem, let's say in the sprinkler system,
Mhm.
you're going to front the money and then the owner pays you.
No. So the arrangement with our owners is the way that the owner gets to sleep at night and not have anybody calling him at midnight saying my toilet is busted, can you send a plumber, is because when we have our management agreements with our owners, we have the foresight to set aside what we call a reserve fund, whereby it's usually about $300 or $500 that the owner gives to us or sits into an account, which we use for maintenance. And the great thing about Real Property Management is every step of the way, the owner is kept abreast as to everything, all the expenses that have come up. But I don't have to be calling him, at midnight saying, "Can I pay John the plumber $50 to go check the busted toilet?"
And is this you and your husband's business?
Yes, it's a family business.
Family. Is your husband handy? Are you a handyman?
He's handy.
He's handy.
He's handy, but he is not our primary maintenance.
No,
person.
but I'm saying it's a tough business.
Yeah.
It's like having a people think it's easy. Having I'm going to buy land, I'll rent it out.
Yeah.
The land might not depreciate, but the house could depreciate if you have the wrong tenants.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah. And the reason why we formalize this business is that we have investment property. And for a while, we decided we could do this ourselves. Like, why are we going to pay somebody else, right? And we did that for a couple of years. And because we saw what went into property management, we decided that we wanted to formalize the business to be able to put our know-how to use for other people who are in a similar situation.
Just because somebody has bad credit or something like that doesn't mean they're bad tenants.
No. Right. So that's great. As far as the screening is concerned, for each property, we set certain criteria. So, depending on what it can rent for, you're looking for tenants with setting certain criteria and picking your
Excuse me,
tenants.
I'm proud of my daughter-in-law. Well done. So who's that?
Hi, Mom.
That's
my mother.
Mom.
That's my mom. My mother-in-law.
What's her first name? What do you call her?
Catherine.
You call her Mom Catherine or
Yeah.
Catherine?
Catherine.
Catherine. She's the best. All right, so go ahead. Uh, so somebody might have good
Right,
credit.
credit. So for each property, we set certain criteria as far as what type of tenant are we looking for. Depending on the rent, you may not need or want somebody who has, 800 credit, but you may give somebody the opportunity whose credit is a little bit low, but they have a great rental history. Um, they check out great with background. They their previous landlord says they pay on time every month. So the tenant screening isn't straightforward to say, if you don't have 800, you can't rent our property. It's really a mix of criteria that we look on to match the right tenant to the right property.
It's not. Do how many your clients range from Homestead? You have some in Broward. Why in Broward?
Um, so as far as my company is concerned, I like to give personalized service to
Right.
my clients, and so as long as I'm able to reach them in a timely manner, these are the properties that I manage. I'll do that because I want to be available. So that's why there's some parts of Broward that you can get to within a reasonable amount of time, and I do that.
It's a question. I know who your client is, but do you feel sometimes the client is the renter and the owner? You feel both of them are your client, correct?
Both are my clients. Has to be. Because as I mentioned before, it's a two-way street. I can put a great tenant into your property, right? And if he or she is not happy and they leave, then your property is vacant 4 months and you're losing income.
People won't realize that you rent your place for a year or let's say a year and a half, and they leave 6 months early. So what? You got 1 month security, and now you have to fix it all up, repaint it, get a new tenant in there, and it takes a couple months.
Exactly. People would be surprised when a tenant moves out, what you have to spend to make that property rent ready again, right?
Rent
So
ready.
painting, you're looking at flooring, you're looking at our closet doors busted. You need a handyman to come
A
in.
little knob.
It all adds up, right?
Because once you're living in the house, you get used to that little spot on the wall, but a new tenant doesn't want that spot on the wall.
No.
Or their little kid might have puked in the wall in the corner. You don't know it because the couch is there.
Exactly. So, which is why we have a great partnership with our cleaning agency as well. When we rented out our personal property the other day, like we did the cleaning, we did the sweeping, we had somebody come in and paint. And then Rosie comes in, who is our cleaner, and she's like, this place needs a deep clean. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Deep clean, like
deep clean. Which is what we recommend
Right.
whenever a tenant moves out and one comes in. And then she goes and she starts looking in the vents, and they're all dirty, or behind the fridge, and it's a mess, or behind the stove. And if you're living there, that's nothing to you. You don't see those things. But best believe when a new tenant or an applicant is coming to look at your property, they notice things like these. So you want to make sure that little things like those are covered.
Deep cleaning. Now, sometimes some rental properties, they pay for a housekeeper to come in and clean the property. And is that some of your owners?
No, so we'll take care of that as well. We have a great team of vendors or partners that we use that are licensed and insured, by the way. So you'll have some owners who will say, well, my brother knows plumbing, he can come in and get it done. Unless his brother is licensed and insured, I'd really rather not use your brother to do the work, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, yeah, who's that on?
To save money, they'll use their cousins, brothers, nephews,
Right.
best friends, sisters, cousins to do the plumbing to save $50. But if it's done sometimes without a permit, and then you have problems with your owner of your property. Am I correct?
Exactly. So we only use licensed and insurers.
Maybe I missed the answer. So, do some of your rental properties, do you have a housekeeper comes in once a month to keep it maintained?
No. So it depends on the type of lease that we have. The majority of our leases are long-term residential, meaning people who rent for a year. And so in that case, once that's leased, that becomes their responsibility, the cleaning.
Correct. But they still never do it good enough.
but they're living there. So
Right.
during that time, that's on them. If they want to live in a messy environment, as far as not taking care to clean properly, that's on them. Now we'll pop in. We do
Well, that's what I'm
periodic.
saying. Do you drive by the properties? Do you pop in? Do they see you?
Yeah, we have what we offer to our owners are regular, what we call property evaluation. So depending on what our arrangement is, we'll go in every other month or every 6 months. And this is not a surprise for the tenant. This is something that we arrange. We're coming in to do a property evaluation. The tenant is very accommodating. And what we're doing during those visits are just making sure that, everything looks okay. There's nothing major that we have to get the owner ready to pay for.
When you go by, it's a check. They go, oh, when's the management company coming by? So they're always keeping it a little bit cleaner, I think.
Great, right? But we're not just looking to see that you vacuum the carpet. We're looking at stuff like, the cupboard doors falling off. Is the toilet flushing okay? Is there a leak spot in the ceiling?
That's important. I think what you do is very important. Not every in your own land. If you are handling it yourself, there's less chance you're going by. Not you, but the property owner.
Yeah, and you're not looking for that type of thing. You're just going in, is there a spot on the wall? Did they smudge the paint? Is my floor scuffed? You're not looking for the important things, like the things that are going to cost you money if they're not taken care of.
Now, the yard, is that responsible of the landlord or the owner? The landlord or the
It depends on the house. So for instance, if your home is in an HOA community, most of the time the HOA takes care of, the exterior. Right. If it's a single family home, then that's a conversation that the owner and myself would have in the beginning. Who takes care of the yard? Usually it's the tenant, and the tenant is okay with that, but we have to include that in the lease. You can't just assume, which is why we go back to leasing. People go and take the lease off the shelf from Office Depot and give that to their tenants to sign, and not realizing that there are things there that they're not protected for.
By the way, I met you at the Mercedes-Benz event, the South Dade Chamber, correct?
Yep.
We were hanging around the food table. Well, I was. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to get back. So 2 types of rentals that we manage: long-term, which is that 12-month rental where somebody's living there. And then there are vacation rentals. And a lot of
you handle vacation rentals.
We do handle select vacation rentals, because to manage a vacation rental well, you really have to be on top of your game, because it can be time consuming to do it well. So we handle vacation rentals. Most people, they buy an investment property and they're not sure what they're going to do with it. Like, should I rent it for 12 months? Should I do it as a vacation rental? Am I going to want to use my property? So some people invest in, beautiful properties in the Keys that they want to be able to use, but in times that they're not there, if they want to get an income from that.
Correct. I know people that, they have a house in the Keys. They never let me stay there, but that's another issue. And they don't go all the time. They go one week of the month, and they go, if I can rent this out 2 weeks of the month, it pays my mortgage.
Yep, absolutely. Most people don't realize that. I do not yet have a house in the Keys. I'm working on it.
Tommy, did she just invite us? Thank you very much.
Did everybody hear that?
Yes.
All of Facebook.
Okay, but I know people have houses there, and I can see that, like, people. I'm jumping around. People have houses in North Carolina and they rent it out, and they don't have a management company. I said, that is so risky.
It is so risky
because I pay for a week, but I'm staying there 3 weeks until the next person comes in. I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
You see movies about that stuff.
Yes. And so again, that's why you think you buy an investment property and you can do it yourself. And sometimes you can. Let's not be mistaken. For instance, I'll tell you what, when we had our rental property before, we started Real Property Management, we had a tenant in our house for 6 years.
In your rental property?
In our rental property. Never raised the rent. You know why? Because they were a great tenant and we were afraid, to rock the boat. Why am I going to mess it up? They're great. They're paying whatever. Well, come to find out that when they moved, they had to relocate. We were getting $500 less than the market rate per month.
From the old one.
Yeah, because The other thing is we weren't keeping abreast of what the rental rates were
Yeah,
in our
but
community.
in defense of the landlord, that was you.
Yeah.
You had a tenant in there, no headaches, paying on time. You could have got somebody $500 more. That's $6,000 a year, and they could have stuck you at the end. So sometimes you have to know what's right.
Exactly. You have to get that balance. But also remember, Grant, people invest in investment property for different reasons. So somebody might invest in a house in the Keys because they just want, somewhere to stay, not necessarily an income generating account property. That's not necessarily why they bought it in the first place, which is fine. But a lot of people invest in additional property for it to become a source of passive income for them. If it's a source of passive income and you're not paying attention to the things that might impact that income, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
One of the things I see about your company that you dissect the possible tenant through credit check, background checks, because if you get a bad tenant in there, how long does it take you to remove a bad tenant?
It can take up to 3 months if you're on top of the process. And that goes from
But if I'm the landlord and I did it myself, I got a job.
You got a job.
And
you go find an attorney and get ready to go sit in court a couple of times.
Right. So that's what you do. You'll make sure if it happens, and it doesn't happen, it does happen more than it used to, correct?
Mm-hmm. It does. I mean, unfortunately, with the pandemic, we had the moratorium on eviction. So, which was great, by the way, in terms of protecting renters.
Who's Karen Davis Johnson? Everybody you know has 2 last names.
Yes.
Who's Karen Johnson? Davis Johnson.
Kareen. She's awesome.
Kareen.
Yeah, Kareen.
Where does she live?
She lives in Jamaica.
I love Sue too. Kareen, see you around. Okay, so let's talk about some other things give me some more positive things that not your company, companies like you. Okay, I know you guys really specialize and personalize, but what are issues that occur to people that they need to know? But if you need a management company.
Yeah, so first you need to make that decision. So if you've been doing it on your own and there are certain pains that you have.
I have to interrupt you. I love the couple. Let's say the man doesn't work or the wife doesn't work. One of them has a great job. I'll handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll handle the property. And they go, know it's going to be screwed up, correct?
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, whether it's a man handling a woman, if you have a job or you don't have to work, you think you can handle it. It's like, really, I got to go collect this. I got to do this. I got to do that.
If you don't have a job, if there's somebody who can manage it full time, then go ahead, go take a shot at it, because you could probably
go take a shot of. I like that.
Go take a shot of it. I mean, it's possible. We did it for a few years.
So you and your husband doing this for how long?
We've been doing property management for about 7 years.
That's a long time. And you're building every day.
Yeah.
And where do you get your clients from?
So a lot of our clients come via referrals, because the great thing is if you're good at what you do, if people appreciate the kind of service that you deliver, they tell other people. And really that's how we've been working on building our business.
Okay, so you have your own business, and then you have your own personal rentals too.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand.
Yeah. We understand both sides of scenario, which is what, our clients appreciate. We've been doing this for ourselves. So we understand what it means to maximize that return on investment, to try and manage your expenses, to have foresight so that, if God forbid something major happens, you don't have to be wondering, where am I going to find the money to fix this? And this tenant needs it done, like the AC, which can be a significant repair cost. Talking like $6,000 to get a new AC. If your tenant calls and says, my AC is busted, that's something that you need to be on top of.
One of my sons rents a apartment from somebody. The owners come once every 6 weeks to change the air conditioning filter.
Yep.
But that's not what they're there for. They're not there to change the air conditioning filter.
Well, they are there to change the air conditioning.
That's what they say. They're there to make, because they know they have to walk through They arranged like on a Saturday to come, and I'm thinking that is brilliant.
So, not changing your AC filters is one of the top ways to get a busted AC and a $6,000 bill. But you're right. Property evaluation is another thing that we do for owners. You got to go look. Mid lease, you got to go see what's going on. You could have the best tenant there. The tenant may overlook the fact that, wait, there's a spot in the ceiling that keeps growing, which
Right.
may be, a leak from a pipe upstairs. There are things that we're trained to look for, which the average person isn't. And that helps an owner as well save a lot in the long run.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you being a member of the South Dade Chamber. It's great for our community. Now we're going to find out who you really are.
Uh,
Okay. Are you ready?
uh-huh.
You sure? You sure?
Mm.
Okay. You got 10 seconds quickly. Your husband's birthday, go.
January 2nd.
All your children's birthdays, go.
May 1st, January
You
29th.
have twins?
No, sir. I have 2 kids born 3 years apart on the
Same
same date.
Okay.
That's planning.
Oh God. Your mother's birthday.
Uh,
Parents' birthdays. You got
August 17, July 26th.
it. Most important date. Your mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law's birthday is January 20th. Thank you very much.
You got any brothers or sisters?
2.
Birthdays.
August 2nd, September 14th. Hey, David, he just had his birthday
Who's
last
David?
week. That's my brother.
Happy birthday, David. Okay. Your favorite cowboy.
What? Like, who has a favorite cowboy?
What's your favorite cowboy movie?
Well,
What's that word?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Superhero.
Oh gosh, like my 15-year-old is gonna be very upset. Captain America, because she's into Marvel, and I don't watch any of the movies with her, which she's very offended by.
I'd be offended too. Okay. Favorite place to have a burger?
Well, my son likes Fuddruckers.
Which one? The one at 146?
Yeah, the one in Palmetto.
They have a great burger. They have great chicken. That's good restaurant.
Yeah, because they have burgers with stuff on it. Like they have a hangover burger, which has a fried egg on the top, which is great.
Your favorite pizza place?
All right. Like, I like Domino's.
That's all right.
Is it?
We don't care. We just want to know people want to know who you are. Your favorite football, not soccer, football team.
Thanks for clearing that up, because football is played with your foot.
Okay, gotcha. All right, the American football.
I like Patriots.
The Patriots, huh? Interesting. Okay, in words, not sentences. What do you like about Thanksgiving? Give me a couple words. Go.
Gravy.
What else?
Mashed potatoes.
What about family?
Cranberry sauce.
Family?
No, food.
Okay. Favorite taco place?
No, I mean I could say Taco Bell, but that would be bad.
Your favorite place you eat chicken?
Your chicken is backwards.
Name a place.
Your
husband doesn't take you out? You don't take your husband
We don't go eat chicken when we go out.
Where do you eat fish?
We go to the Keys. Which
restaurant?
There was a great place called Island
Tommy?
Keys that we
What's it called?
I don't know. There are a million restaurants in Keys.
No, the same island. Island what?
Island Keys, I think. It's in Key Largo.
Tommy's second home is in the Keys.
Oh. How many hats do you have?
Favorite animal?
Flamingo. No, actually, it's a koala.
A who?
A koala.
Wow, okay.
So cute. How many hats are you?
You got 2 more.
Okay.
Your favorite gift as a child?
Gift.
During December.
Yeah. I'm not into gifts.
As a little kid.
I like experiences.
As like a little kid?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more. Do you eat hot dogs?
No.
Okay, last one. Oh, no, 2 more. I gotta test you out. Your favorite sushi restaurant?
Sushi Maki.
Holy cow, you are a winner.
What'd I win?
Nothing. Sushi Maki, locally owned. Went to Palmetto High School, just FYI.
Cool.
Okay, the magic of the mix. Tell us why your business is successful and why people should hire your company.
Sure. So that's an easy one. as far as our business being successful, the proof is in the pudding. Like, we have a head for business, so we are helping you maximize your return on investments. But then we also have a heart for people, which is important, because once you get a great tenant into your home, we want to make sure that they're happy and that you keep them. Like, what else are you going to want from a property manager? Somebody that's going to help you maximize on your investment and keep your tenants happy. What else do you need?
All good. Look at this camera here. We're closing out. Grant Miller here. Suzanne Wilson-Wong. If you're interested in property rental, she's the person. South Dade Chamber of Commerce is a great place in South Dade. Everybody have a great day.